Test, test. We are live. Look at us go. We should have an Alex here pretty soon. Real soon. We was actually just buttoning things up outside. We're expecting about 4 inches of rain. For some, it's probably not a ton. For us, it's actually quite a bit. So we just thought we would get ready, and I believe we are ready. Looks like Alex's wife is already here. What is that about? I don't know. It's only 4:12. Huh. Go and figure. So we're doing this. It is about to be hurricane season in Michigan. Okay, so it's not a hurricane in Michigan. It's just going to be some rain. Like I said, we're expecting about 4 inches, or they say we could get up to 4 inches. We've got a pretty decent line heading in this direction, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere close. But it's hard to say. It's still, several hours away, so it's not moving super fast, but it is coming. That it is. So let's see. Yeah. What was I just looking at? I was just about to do something, and I don't remember what it is. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll be enough to remember what I was doing. Yeah. Boy, if you are in the path or have been in the path of the storm, then I would say uh, I would like to hear about what's been going on. And what's going on with Alex? Alex has got his headphones on. He's getting ready. He is about to be in here. He thinks providing his stuff all works properly. Oh, that reminds me. I got to push a button here. Otherwise, he's going to come in and be echoing. There we go. It's my responsibility. Wow, I'm almost 4 minutes in and I don't have anybody watching. That is crazy. Oh, ha. I got a Joe. I got somebody watching. Or tell me it just isn't going to tell me who is. Um, is it going to just not tell me how many's watching now? That would be rude. Oh, yeah, it says over here I got three. Over there, it's just not telling me. Ah, they changed stuff on my platform again. Okay, I got people watching. You're coming in. That's cool. As soon as Alex gets his stuff, that'll be cool too. Uh, yeah. So it looks like, whoops. All right. So where is Alex? He's having computer issues, I'm sure. I'm not sure what he's doing. Here he comes. There he is. I knew you'd be here eventually.
Dude, it was well, so you know how usually it's the audio? This time it was the camera source.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
It's never happened to me before. That was a first.
It's happened to me before. Just isn't a regular thing.
You know what I
So,
discovered?
huh.
NVIDIA Broadcast has filter options and they look magnificent. This is the best my pictures ever looked, I think.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the standard generic filters that I already knew about? Like,
I don't know. It says effects, and then I did background removal, and it was perfect. It was NVIDIA Broadcast on the far right camera, and then effects. And then when I do my camera source on OBS, I switched it over to NVIDIA Broadcast. I don't know. Yours already
oh,
looks good.
yeah, mine does look good.
It was mine that
That's why.
always had the issues. But
Yeah, I don't even have my camera set up on mine, so. All right. So, does your restream show how many people are watching in the corner still? Because mine don't.
no.
Yeah, I thought I was sitting here all by myself, but we've got viewers.
What is up, Jamal? How you doing? Invasion.
Jamal,
My wife came over
Jamal, how
last
much
night.
rain did you get? Inquiring minds want to know. Invasion, was you in the path of the rain? I forget, but I think you were west of it, wasn't you?
I feel like the whole country's in the path of it right now.
Well, it is taking a pretty strong, from Texas to Michigan, basically. So, and it's a pretty
Hey,
decent sized path. Scott, what is going on?
I wonder if Restream knew that the numbers lied, so they just did away with it altogether.
They might have. OBS is because I got OBS chat or Restream logged in on OBS so I can look at the chat and no rain for invasion. But it shows me people are watching. But yeah, that's weird. It's not there. Unless there's a new setting someplace that, they change things and they don't tell us about it and then we have to fix it ourselves. Or we have to figure out that we need to fix it first. But
Well, there's 3 on YouTube.
3 on YouTube, 1 on Facebooks.
People are still vacationing.
4 on YouTube, 1 on Facebook. Yeah. So, how was the holiday weekend for everybody? I hate this time of year because it's like the perfect time of year to be busy. But when you're just hovering right around the busy enough mark, these holidays really kick you in the ass because, your public people, they tend to go do their own thing and then they forget about you for a couple of weeks. It's crazy. Jamal only got a bit of rain. That's cool. Some folks, did anybody see Carlos's videos? He got some rain around him. Yeah, Houston got smashed. Alex, your wife is a bit early today.
I know. I'm like, don't you know I got Tool Talk today? He's like, yeah, I know.
Kind of like the
Oh,
UPS driver. It was just more convenient for now.
they just showed up.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna be in Houston in a month and 2 days.
Only
Maybe I'll
for a
go visit
minute.
Jamal. Jamal can come visit me because I might not have time.
He's not in Houston. The thing.
I want to go hit the Space Center.
Houston, we have a problem.
I think that'd be sweet.
Jimenez is back. Yay. Yeah, so the radar says that we're going to get some rain for sure. But I don't know if it looks like it's going to sweep a little north of us, but it's hard to say.
Dude, where the hell is Martin Cisco?
Where is Martin Cisco? Have you showed him yet?
Dude, well, I've been texting him, but it won't let me send a preview through Restream. So I emailed it to him, but then I made some changes, and then I emailed it again, and I don't think he's seen either of them.
Maybe
He
he's busy today.
he responded on Restream. He says, "How's it going?" I said, "Not bad. I sent you an email." And that was, I guess, less than 10 minutes ago. I guess it wasn't
You
that
mean on
long.
Ring Central?
Yeah. But dude, it is sweet. There is a lot of detail in it that I hope doesn't get faded out like Dexton's. I think Dexton's like the little small details, I think I put the opacity on it a little bit too much. Because like you could see it on the computer screen, but like post print, it kind of like didn't show.
We don't really order anything from Soap Shield anymore. So Dexton should have his cup tomorrow.
He still doesn't know.
Nope. Yeah, I was wondering. I was feeling like it was a long time, so I was like, "How come he hasn't hit us up yet?" You know, it's going to be kind of a big one. And then I went and tracked it, and it was like, "Yeah, expected delivery tomorrow."
I don't
Well,
even know if we're gonna see the post because I don't think he's like out there like the rest of us.
it's okay. I bet he calls.
What if that's the like thing that puts him out there? Like, you know
Maybe.
what? This industry family is not too bad. Maybe I'll start joining all the groups and post about these guys.
Yeah.
Because I ordered some stuff and it has been 3 months and I haven't got any response from him at all.
Well, now you know why we're not ordering from him. Just saying. HIJK
Wait a minute.
custom. Which one am I looking at? Custom 3-gallon or custom 3-gallon preview?
Oh, you're talking about
Martin's.
custom 3-gallon. So I put a brightness filter and toned down the brightness, brought up the contrast a little bit, and then I did some more like fine detailed painting in between the logo layers and the um background layer.
Love it. I think I love it.
And I try to create like an effect along the road and on the sidewalk. I did some painted layers of like real light opacity and color dodge. And then like up the building, like I created some shadow lines up the building where like it meets the sidewalk. And then some like a lot of different style halftones blended into certain areas. Because I
So
think
far, so far we haven't gotten him to actually see it yet, but maybe we can show you guys first. But this is what he asked for. He wanted Sun Distributing and Tint Keg on it. And
I
I
wanted to
didn't
put
really
some
get
Puerto Rican flair on it. I don't know. We don't have that many Puerto Rican customers, so I thought it was. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. What do you guys think?
He went to work for Steck, was bragging about it, but he can't respond to any messages. I wonder how Steck is putting up with him.
Well, it's a whole thing. Can anyone verify is that what Puerto Rico looks like?
No, I think that's just San Juan or the capital area. But oh, I don't know if it's like overplayed or underplayed. I tried looking up like Puerto Rican designs, and it just all seems like tattoo graffiti ish. I don't know. Maybe Google Images doesn't know what I'm asking for.
Oh, look, we got a Puerto Rican flag right there. That's cool. Anyway, we're back. But yeah, so that's what we got. But I don't know. He seems like he might be busy or something.
And then I think it would look cooler with the signatures too. So there's that.
Oh yeah, did we actually think about maybe making a place for the signatures? Or I forgot about that.
We're gonna do it to the bottom right of the Tink Keg logo.
So we need black Sharpie.
We have silver Sharpie.
Think that'll be all right on that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
real thick paint. It rattles when you shake it, I think. If not, I have a white rattle marker somewhere.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. For sure. We are ready for the rain. Whether it actually gets to us or not, I don't know. Right now, the weather atmosphere is doing what it usually does around us, so it's closing in on us and then it just dissipates. So it might take a little while for it to all get here.
Yeah, they're not picking up my dumpster until tomorrow.
Oh,
I know. I wish they would just come and take the damn thing.
well, especially considering what they're going to have to deal with tomorrow. Yep. That is that. So, what else is new? Hey, we finally, I don't know when it'll be here because it's coming from California, but we finally got more ATR on the way.
A lot of ATR.
A lot of, I ordered a couple 100 gallons. I'm tired of trying to keep up with it. My guess is that's going to be a couple of pallets, but I don't know. I just don't know. And what else? I don't know. Sometimes it's just hard to know.
You think everyone's still out of town? These tenders are spoiled, man.
Tinters are spoiled?
Or do
No.
you think or do you think they're just like super busy because of all the work that piled up during last week? Everyone's playing catch up.
Sometimes I don't know. Our tent shop isn't that busy this week, but they had a good week last week. So I mean, I guess it just depends. They have a little bit of a different dynamic over there too, so that's its own thing. Ron Harris says internet is down all over Texas. His AT&T internet on his phone isn't working either, so he hooked up his Starlink. He's back in business. Thanks, Elon. Huh. Might need to look into that Starlink stuff in case we have some sort of apocalypse. Almond's like big plans already for next year's reunion.
Oh wow, really? Whoa.
Whoa, what? What happened?
I'm trying to remember if I bought a Fresh Edge or not. So I was like trying to go on Ryan Breel's website, and
Uh-huh.
his website does not look good right now.
Oh.
It's hold on, let me put it on Restream. It's this performancecustoms.co. I feel like I bought one, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I was like, you know what? I'll wait on this.
Not clickable for me. Rude. Oh wait, I bet you I can click it over here. Bum, bum, bum. I can. Oh, well.
Did he go out of business?
Well, I mean, it's still a live site. It's just broken. Isn't that something? I know I didn't buy one.
Oh, you know what? I think I almost bought one, but then I didn't because I thought somebody was going to give me a Father's Day present. I just wanted to put new bevels on all my squeegees. I've never thrown away a squeegee. I have every squeegee from the moment I started tinning. And it's
You
a
want
lot.
me to do it? Just bring them in.
Do you really want me to bring them all here? Because I got like probably more than 50.
Oh, I had like, I don't know, 30 or 40 of them when I discovered I could do that with the card sharpener. And I sat there and I just did all of them.
I think you still have they're still at 10 Squad. They have a whole tub dedicated to your retired squeegee blades. It's a lot.
I have a hard time. Mary probably already threw them away.
I mean, this was back when Luke still worked there.
I guess Luke reached out to Charles and asked Charles if he bought a bunch of corny kegs, would I help him assemble them all to make spray tanks out of them? And I'm like, isn't that kind of like Post reaching out to Kellogg saying, if I bought a bunch of ingredients, would you help me make a good cereal? I mean, if you want to build and sell
Well,
kegs,
I
knock
mean, that's
yourself
what
out. But
is that what Post did to Kellogg?
guess that all depends. I
I
don't
think
know for sure.
I think Post was like a patient at Kellogg's sanitarium. And then he
Well,
like
then
snuck in and stole the recipe.
maybe I should have said um, General Mills. Yeah. So this is fun. I thought I was supposed to come with a topic. Well, there is one topic. I think too many people are starting to find out about um, Helios window film. That seems to be a real constant. It doesn't matter how much I order, we keep running low, and it's like,
And
I mean, I haven't been keeping it a secret on purpose, but
5% dual reflective is just flying off the shelves too.
well,
That's
and it's weird. Like we'll order a bunch of it and it'll sit there and sit there and sit there. And then we've got just a couple of customers and they'll go on the spree of just wanting to sell a bunch of it. And in my experience, 5% on a building, customers don't tend to like because it makes it too dark and gloomy inside. And you can usually achieve what you're trying to achieve with like a 15 or a 20 and still allow a lot more light inside. But
I'm surprised we're still sitting on 35 and 40% OptiTune and OptiShade.
oh yeah.
Why don't people buy that? I think I
Don't
feel like
know.
I feel like people are not firm believers of a little goes a long way.
So, and that's the other thing too. When a lot of people, I guess you can take this on both sides, on the auto side and on the home side. You know, so many people think that it's just like a natural way of thinking for us to think that darker film equals more heat rejection, more sun blockage. And it does, darker does take away more light, which doesn't really contribute to the heat so much. And a lot of people want window film to block heat, and we just naturally allow the customer to guide us into a darker film because they're trying to block more, which if you ever played with a heat box and you compared like a dyed 5% against a 70% ceramic, you'll know that the light blockage is really irrelevant when it comes to performance in window film. But on the same note, I think that a lot of people don't realize that one of the factors in architectural film is it's a metallized film. It's a high metallized film. So you're going to get the best of both worlds. A lot of people are trying to break into ceramics because they already got it ingrained in their head that ceramics give you more heat blockage. Now, ceramics will give you more heat absorption, but one thing about architectural film is typically it's metallized and it's reflective. And so instead of the heat absorption, you're getting the heat reflection. And if you was to take your dual reflective film or your regular silver 20 film or whatever and take your IR meter and put it on there, you'll find out that, oh, whoa, architectural film blocks a lot of IR heat, so there's that. And a lot of people don't realize that you don't have to go really dark to get a lot of heat rejection. And another thing is right now, there's a lot of arguments about whether IR rejection is heat rejection or if you should use total solar energy rejection. And here is where people get confused, because light does not add a lot of heat at all. And I mean, I understand if you take a regular incandescent light bulb and it's really bright, it gets really hot, but then you can take the same equivalent in light LED bulb and it doesn't get very hot at all, but it puts out just as much light. So heat and light are not the same thing, but darker film blocks a lot more light, and light is energy. So for the guys that are out there focusing 100% on total solar energy rejection, that number is going to change enormously with the darker films because a big part of that number is light. So if you've got a 70% visibility film and a 5% visibility film, there's 65% difference right there that's going to go into that total solar energy rejection equation. And that's
I feel like
false.
both measurements are kind of flawed.
Well, they absolutely are, but which one? So you got to ask yourself, which one represents heat rejection the most? IR, which is almost all heat, or total solar energy rejection, which is going to include light. It's going to include UV. It's going to include color spectrum. All of those things don't contain heat.
I think at this point, we should ask ChatGPT to come up with a number based on heat transmitting light.
Just so you know, Alex, ChatGPT gets its information from the interwebs. The interwebs gets its information from people arguing.
I know, but if it has the variables, it can just do the math for you. So give it the variables, and then we'll just make up our own number, and
we could ask ChatGPT what part of the solar spectrum has heat and what part does not have heat.
Well, UV makes up for 3% of heat in visible light. I already looked into this today.
I'll talk about it a little bit, but I do not have enough ambition about it to go and argue.
It was another Michael Lawrence thing, and the way I broke it down was 5% carbon typically sits at around 61% teaser, while a 5% ceramic sits around 65% teaser. So there's only a 4% difference as far as teaser goes. But if you hold up your hand to a heat lamp and check out the two, or even shine a BTU meter at both of them, you're going to see that it's
a huge difference. And for all the people that want to argue, well, that's a heat lamp and that doesn't put out the full spectrum of the sun, take a couple of pieces of glass or a big piece of glass, half of it with regular film and half of it with a ceramic film, and go out and stand under the sun. Use your BTU meter so you can get accurate numbers. And guess what? You're going to get a huge difference. It's going to be more than 5% difference between the two. So which part is heat? I mean, but that's not something. It's like Alex already said, it's a flawed system because neither one of them is 100% of the heat. The IR is not 100% of the heat, and total solar energy is not 100% of the heat. I would argue that total solar energy has less heat per volume than IR does. IR is almost 100% heat, where total solar energy is not, because there's so much more in it, which is what skews the numbers both directions. So the question is, what do you tell the customer? And we tell the customer heat rejection, and we even simplify it. We're the only ones that care about the details. The customer does not care about the details. And to prove that, all I have is the fact that I used to explain the details and the science to the customers because I thought that they would want to know that I had more knowledge than the other guy down the street, and I could break it all down. But then my wife comes in not knowing anything, and this is years ago, but she knew nothing about tin. And she come in and she's like, simplify it for me. And I was like, okay, say for instance, let's take regular dyed film. You get like almost no heat rejection out of it. And then let's pretend that you get 40% heat rejection out of carbon and like 80% heat rejection out of ceramic. And that's what she clung to. I was just trying to simplify it for her. And so she talks to customers that way. She's like, basically the difference between the three is you can say you get no heat rejection out of this one, 40% out of this one, 80% out of this one. To give you an illustration, let's look at the heat coming through the box. And then she'll show them there. And they're like, dude, I want the ceramic. So the customer is okay with not having all the details. We're the ones making a big fuss about it. And the reality is we're supposed to be trying to make a business successful. And we don't do that arguing in the groups about semantics. Do we? I mean, we could, I suppose, but I don't think that's the way to achieve your goals. And certainly don't tell everybody you've worked, several 15-hour days in a row and then spent several hours researching this so you can give them the facts when the facts simply don't exist. I understand. I've only been 36 years, 35 years, I don't know. I've been a lot of years in this industry, and I've done a lot of studying on window film, and I know what I'm saying is true. And I also know that I don't know all the information, and I can't tell you what percentage of heat is rejected from any film based on any manufacturer's stats that they put out, because there's stuff in there that dilutes it. Simple as that. So the question is, what would you rather sell your customer on? Now, most people would rather sell their customer on the bigger number because it's more impressive. So sell them on the bigger number. But if you're down at your shop worried about what the guy down the street is telling his customer, you're looking at the wrong people trying to run your business. You need to find your own customer and stop trying to chase other people's business. Stop trying to take money out of other people's pockets. They're down there trying to earn a living. You sit down here and try to earn a living. Ask yourself, how many cars can you tint in a day? And then go out and watch the cars drive by your shop and realize that there's enough for both of you no matter what you tell the customer. That's just my take on it. What do you think, Alex? Am I wrong?
No.
Damn it. I was
But
hoping.
even if you were wrong, though, I have right here, it shows source of solar heat, 3% UV, 44% visible light, 53% infrared light. So that means infrared light makes up for more than half of the heat that's produced by sunlight.
So visible light is 40 something percent heat. How is that when you can get like next to no heat off of a ton of light off of an LED? Curious.
Where on the light spectrum
I'll
is
be right
a
back.
LED bulb? It's because it's on the bluer end of the spectrum. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh man, I can't wait for this rain. And then that way I can put my roof to the test. Okay,
It,
so I think it depends on the type of LED bulb, but some sit closer to the blue side of the spectrum than they do onto the red side of the spectrum. So the closer you get to infrared on the spectrum, then clearly it's going to produce more heat than the opposite side of the visible light spectrum.
okay, and because the visible light spectrum is close or butts up against the IR
Yeah.
spectrum, then
So the closer you sit to daylight, I think it's cooler, but the closer you sit to like warm, it
yeah.
that's probably why it's called cool and warm.
Huh. But
But
cool is blue.
it says warm white LED. That's like mainly green, and then what is this? Fluorescent.
So basically, then what we should probably do is study this for a week and try to get all the details and see if we can't give a presentation that breaks it down and makes it make more sense.
I feel like the booklet and the IWFA accommodation page like probably explains a ton of this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember seeing Kelvin temperature charts of sunlight, just bored flipping through it. Not really sure of the context of it because I didn't really read it. I was just flipping for pictures.
Yeah.
Dang, it is almost that time.
It is. So we're going to do some more study and we'll try to have something for next week to kind of just make this make more sense. Like we'll try to layman terms it out a little bit, but just know that if you're out there telling people that you've got 98% heat rejection because you use this crazy expensive IR film, you're not exactly lying, especially if you use the term up to 98%, because let's face it, 4 is somewhere up to 98%. Um, the other people, if you're strictly talking total solar energy rejection, just explain that to your customer, that this is a total solar energy rejection, and know that if you're using dyed film and they're using ceramic, your total solar energy rejection is still going to be less than their total solar energy rejection with their ceramic, because they're blocking more heat, which is a part of that solar energy. So shade for shade, it doesn't matter. But if you're worried about what the guy down the street is doing and telling his customers, then you're focusing on the wrong customers. And I can't drill that in your head enough. If you're worried about what the guy down the street is doing, you're going to struggle forever. And take this from somebody who's done it and probably still does it to an extent. Although I try not to. It's easy to fall into the trap when you're not as busy as you want to be. But the secret to being as busy as you want to be is to put yourself out there and give some people something to look at, and something that's different. Don't try to be like the guy down the street. Be better. Set new standards. And until next week, tint more. I'm going to get ready for a hurricane. Okay, not a hurricane, just a lot of rain. So till next week.